The Lake County Board of Commissioners, with all those who are willing and able, please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Grant us, O Lord, light to our understanding, prudence in our investigating, foresight in our planning, sincerity in our deliberating, the grace to follow truth in our judgment. Help us to be moved in our decision, neither by fear nor by self-interest, and to do our work faithfully. May we respect the authority vested in us, for thou art the source of all authority. And may we use our directives for the common good, and for thy honor and glory. Amen. Thank you all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Present.
Commissioner Regovich?
Here.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Here. Thank you. Okay, this brings us to our first public comment portion of our meeting. Anyone wishing to address the board at this time? Sir.
That's where you got me to 5 minutes.
There you go.
Welcome back, Dave. John Music, 45 Company Drive, Painesville Town. Just a couple quickie questions. One question, and maybe Dave can answer, is we've talked about, I called the Ohio Department of Taxation and I had a bunch of questions for them and they were helpful. They called me back. But one question I have is, when you look at muni judges versus common pleas judges, where does that line go that it goes to the common pleas judges versus, we have 2 muni judges in Lake County?
3.
3? Okay. Where does that line go where the certain cases go to the muni judges and certain cases, and I know they have an area per se, and the county has all the county. I know all that. I looked online, but all depends what search engine you use. You sometimes get different answers.
There's a monetary amount involved.
Yeah, I saw it, 15,000 or something. I don't remember.
It's been a long time since I've looked at that, but that was my recollection. Plus, municipal courts, they do not handle felony criminal charges. The common pleas court does. So when someone is initially charged through municipal court at a felony level, then potentially they have what's called a preliminary hearing, the evidence against them. Many times that is waived and it's bound over to the Lake County grand jury. That's what happens there. Common pleas judges, it's a court of equity. They have certain abilities that they can perform or do ruling wise that municipal court judges do not have.
Okay, because I received some questions about this. Some people say, "Oh, we got a muni judge," and I said, "No, cases still go to the county." And I didn't know where it broke down at, and I looked it up, and there was a dollar amount and so forth and so forth. So,
and that's for the dollar amount is on civil cases. I was alluding also
Correct.
to the criminal cases about the felony cases going through municipal courts.
Right.
Municipal courts do handle misdemeanor criminal cases for violations of either municipal ordinances, criminal violations, things like that, or state law.
Well, so I just want people to realize that even though they may have a muni court judge, the county judges do work for individual communities, all 23. That's what I wanted the people to know. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know where that line went.
They have, the common pleas court has jurisdiction for all of Lake County, whereas the municipal court judges have only jurisdiction over those municipalities and or townships that are under their domain.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
And welcome back.
thank you.
Okay, another thing I wanted to bring up about, like I said, I am all for our law enforcement, and that includes all 3 parts of it. And that we got it, we need a new jail, and we need, just like in our Constitution, I had to memorize the preamble in elementary school. We the people of the United States, in order to perform a more perfect union. The first thing was establish justice, if you remember that. And domestic tranquility, providing defense and all this. But establish justice was number 1. That was in the U.S. Constitution. So only thing I am saying is that justice is the most important thing, and law enforcement and our military. Without those 2 parts, we would not have a country. So we got to do what we got to do, and I know that we got that resolution next next meeting. So we got to do what we got to do just to make sure the least impact on the taxpayers, especially the seniors. So, and lastly, the governor signed that SB 288 on the 3rd, and I'm trying to find out something on that. So just to remind people, it changes a lot about it. If you look and read that bill, I got through the first 200 pages, but it's quite lengthy, and I still haven't gotten to the part about cell phones. But anyhow, I'll get there. So I just want to let people know that comes in effect April 3rd, where you can't text and do certain things on your phone while you're driving. So, all right. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Music.
Anyone else wishing to address the board? Sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Matt Rhodes. I live at 10454 Prouty Road. I'm here to address the sales tax issue that was tabled that's on the agenda for next week's meeting. I understand you gentlemen aren't going to be discussing it today, but just wanted to let my concerns be known. I represent a group of Lake County residents called Men of Honor, and I can say that most, if not all of us, have voted for each one of you gentlemen. And we voted based upon a Republican conservative agenda. And I believe that a tax increase at this time is not the right time to look at it based upon the current economic situation. The issue is that I believe we deserve justification of why the sales tax increase is needed, as well as an opportunity to approve it by the people. I think they deserve a chance to voice whether it's the right move or not for this county at this time. And that's all I have to say.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, Commissioners. My name is Josh Pollock. I live at 1060 Tradewinds Cove, Painesville Township. I am here also, as Matt is, to let you know that, I also voted for all of you and voted for you for your conservative representation in our community, and would really like to see some due diligence done for the reasoning for the sales tax. I realize we have some issues with our jail. I'm all for supporting our law officers and giving them everything that they need, but I think it needs to be done through the citizens in this county and the taxpayers. I don't think that it's a very good idea to make us the 3rd highest sales tax rate in the state. It'll prevent people from coming from other higher communities such as Cuyahoga County. A lot of different businesses would suffer, not to mention people that are on fixed incomes that have really strained budgets already with the inflation that we're seeing. I do our shopping, and it's alarming to see how expensive everything has gotten. I mean, we're looking upwards of $6 for a dozen of eggs. So I couldn't imagine somebody that's relying on Social Security to be able to make ends meet while being priced out of their homes because of sales tax. And if there's a way we can really put the ink to the paper and really figure out where we can get other additional funds. I'm aware of there's other departments that are sitting on a lot of overages, and I'm sure that that's been brought to your attention, but I'm sure that we could probably get to some brass tacks and do some really, really hard thinking on how we could make this work for our county and really make sure that we can support our police, because that's a big thing for me. And but I just wanted to let you know that there are a lot of people that I've spoken with that weren't even aware that that's even on the docket. So it might be a good idea for you to, let the community know that this is something that's on the table, because a lot of people were voted in office because of your fiscal responsibility and being conservative with it. So just wanted to let that known, and I appreciate it and hope to see you guys make the right decision. Thank you.
Thank you.
Legal. There seems to be a reoccurring theme that I know we've addressed previously, but I think it's appropriate to address now. Other political subdivisions, metro parks, other such agencies, do they have any legal authority to transfer money to the county's general fund? They can only collect and disperse taxes for the purpose in which they were collected. Am I correct in that understanding?
That's correct.
So if Deepwood wanted to say we want to build the Deepwood wing of the Lake Tran bus garage, they could not transfer money from Deepwood to Lake Tran.
They could not, Commissioner. No.
And likewise, Lake Tran could not use sales tax money collected or grant dollars received to build a pavilion for the metro parks.
I would agree with that.
And the reason
There's a specific use for various levies, and the uses are, again, specific. You cannot use monies from a specific use levy for other than that specific use.
And the other follow-up to that, which seems to be also a growing concern, which was not addressed here, this Board of Commissioners does not have the authority to take money from metro parks, to take money from Lake Tran, to take money from Deepwood. We have no legal authority to do that. Is that a correct understanding?
That's a correct statement, Commissioner.
And I feel strongly that the public needs to hear this in this context, because this seems to be a growing misconception. I'm aware that there are other elected officials who also believe that we can take money, and we cannot do that. We have no authority to do that. Okay, I appreciate that, and I hope that helps with a little bit of background. More to come. Hope to talk to you after the meeting if you got some time, so please stay if you can. Thank you, gentlemen. Anyone else wishing to address the board at this time? All right, see no additional takers. Madam Clerk, first agenda item, please.
In the Commissioner's office, resolution to increase the rate of the sales and use tax by 1/2% for the benefit of the general fund for Lake County, Ohio, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 5739.026A3 and Ohio Revised Code Section 5741023. This was tabled 12/29 and will be up for reconsideration on January 12th, 2023.
Thank you.
Resolution authorizing execution of agreements between the Lake County Board of Commissioners and various entities and organizations for fiscal year 2022 Community Development Black Grant Funds.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. David? See, John got back just in time to finish up his work on this one. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Dave Verdecci, Lake County Planning Community Development Director. We received our funding from HUD. We went through all the proper procedures, had public hearings, and we are going to fund 28 projects in Lake County for $1.9 million. Everything from streetscapes and to elevator improvements. We will be putting out a press release on all the different projects after you approve this. This will allow us to enter into agreements with each one of the projects and start the projects as soon as the next. They'll have until September 30th to finish them.
Excellent. Gentlemen, anything to add? Wow, that was easy.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. All right, if there's nothing further, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes, thank
In
you.
the Finance Department, resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $3,381,347.70.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations for various general and non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Resolution transferring cash within various general and non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes. Very good. This brings us to our departmental reports portion of our meeting. Utilities.
I have no report today, Commissioner.
Very good. Thank you. Job and Family Services.
No report today, Commissioner.
Thank you, ma'am. County Administrator.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Just briefly wanted to welcome on behalf of staff Commissioner Plechnik back to the board and look forward to the next 4 years. So welcome back.
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. All right, Madam Clerk.
Well, Jason took what I was going to say. So I will just remind everyone that our next meeting is next Thursday, January 12th at 10 o'clock.
Very good, thank you. And legal.
No reports, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir. All right, this brings us to our old business portion of our meeting. Old business. Do we have any old business? Hearing none. New business. Do we have any new business?
Mr. President,
Sir.
I too would like to welcome John back, and I'm looking forward to the future here and working together, and I think we have the team in place.
Thank you, Commissioner. I look forward to the next 40 years.
Uh-oh, we got a succession plan here. All right. Okay, yes, indeed. Well, again, welcome back. So let's keep going. All right. If there's no other new business, this brings us to our second public portion. Anyone from the audience wishing to address the board? Sir. I don't think the microphone's on. Can you check? Uh-oh. There we go. Thank you.
Michael Paul, 7665 Minter Avenue, number 325. Basically, I hate to, what the saying goes, beat a dead horse. But, every week I'm hearing here and there about, the sheriff needing a jail. And I support that, 110%. The sheriff needs a jail. People in uniform need taken care of, okay? And those who, enforce the law. And my thing about it is this, I start thinking back about it. Of course, nobody likes taxes. But we need some of them. And I started thinking to myself, and I looked at my Facebook one night because I'm in the business, and I see all these elected officials with United Way, with, let's say, different organizations, not to speak of them in a negative manner, but I'm seeing everybody going out, not all the elected officials, but so many elected officials throughout the state of Ohio and the United States, fighting for different organizations. But the one thing I don't see is, and I see it here and there, but not as much as common as these nonprofits, is for people in law enforcement. I don't see, maybe I'm in error, I don't know, but I would like all the elected officials, which I believe three of you do know this, that, the law enforcement is the most important. That's number one, because without law enforcement, nobody would be sitting here in peace having civil discussions. And I would like, all the elected, especially Lake County elected officials, to make more of a presence with people in uniform, whether it be the sheriff, whether it be your local, departments, to go out and, advise to the public, their constituents, hey, you know what, our police need help, our sheriffs need help, our sheriff needs a new jail. Let's see what we can do to, figure something out. Because, a lot of people are right too, though. Some people, they're pinching pennies right now. But then again, I can look in other places and say, well, without the sheriff and without the people behind the sheriff, these organizations wouldn't even be in business, because it'd be chaos and anarchy in our communities. So I would just like everybody in Lake County that's elected official, and I'll Facebook this later also, to keep law enforcement number one in your minds. Because, first line, responders and defenders, they keep basically a structure in the community together. Without them, we're done. So next time, you want to go put United Way 40 times on your Facebook within a year, why don't you come see the sheriff and his people and advocate something for them, maybe about 10, 15 times, if the sheriff does so permit. Help our law enforcement. So that's what I have to say, Mr. Commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wishing to address the board? Sir.
John Music 45 coming to Detroit. Just to add on to that, I've been saying here for years, I think our department heads in the county have done a good job and they're good stewards of taxpayer dollars, but I can see where a lot of taxpayers go to various organizations or nonprofits or whatever, that I can see that the money could be better spent. And just like was mentioned, as you know, in my opinion, there's nothing more important here in this county than law enforcement. And people say, oh, well, we don't need this or we don't need that. Well, Do you want to look like some of the states in this, some of the counties / states in this country? Or, oh, I only stole $999, I'm fine, and I can walk down the street and hit somebody over the head and they just let me go back and all this stuff. You never know how important law enforcement is until you need them. And the thing about it is, just like our sheriff says all the time, he can't be everywhere all the time. And if you see it, say it. And you can imagine someone breaking into your house and you want somebody to come help you, save you. Oh, we can be there in 2 hours. Do we ever want something like that? Nothing's free. I mean, like I said, the 3 departments, we have the sheriff, the prosecutor's office, and the judges, and everybody, and that includes everybody. I'm saying the county judges. That includes everybody in those departments. We need these people. So we got to do what we got to do. In fact, I got a form here about how to, if you go online, the State Department, you can pull up the form that you have to send in to raise the taxes and everything. All I'm saying to you is that, sadly, we got to do what we got to do. Because if you look across the country, our country's going in the wrong direction as far as law enforcement is going. Our borders are wide open. People are doing this. People are doing, just drive down the road. It's like I went down 90 the other day and I was going 70 and people flew back by me like they were going 100 miles an hour and they thought nothing. Stop signs and traffic lights mean nothing anymore to some people, not all people, but to some people. And like I've said before, lawlessness breeds more lawlessness. And we've got to stop it. And we only control Lake County. But last time I looked, Lake County is part of our country. And don't ever think that these things cannot come here, because they can. And then you'll sit back, well, it's like I think I've told you before, there was this grandfather sitting there talking to his granddaughter, and he says how our country used to be. And she said to him, well, Grandpa, why don't you do something about it? Well, granted, yeah. Hey, us retirees, we're never going to get a raise. I've been retired 15 years and I've never gotten a raise. I know I've talked to retirees that have been retired 25, 27 years. They've never gotten a raise. That dollar 25 years ago doesn't buy what it does today. But they still support our law enforcement. What else can I say? What's more important than that? So I just wanted to make sure the 3 of you, like I've said to you many times over the years, be good stewards of our dollars. Make the right, just like when the sheriff and Captain Brooks said we need a jail. I trust those 2 people. That's like me looking in, telling somebody, oh, I don't think you need your lawn mowed, or I don't really think you need to paint that or this. Well, what about the people that work there 24/7, 365? Those are the people I really believe what they do or what they do not need. And like I said, I trust Captain Brooks and I trust the sheriff when he was jail administrator. He knows what they need. He's been there, done that. So we do what we got to do. Do I want to raise taxes? Heck no, I don't want to raise taxes. But do I want to have a county that law enforcement doesn't have the tools they knew? It's like when the crime lab came up. I went and took a tour of that, and I've talked with the management people over there. That's when they had that renewable levy. I learned a lot on that when I had that tour. I toured the jail, and I did a lot of work at 9/11, at the emergency center when it was built, because I did work for the government there. But anyhow, beside the point. But the thing about it is, do we want to pay for these? Or do we not just have these things? What do we do? So nothing's free anymore, and we got to pay for what we can. And all I'm asking the 3 of you is to be good stewards of our taxpayer dollars. And whatever decision you make it a smart decision, not only for the county, but for the taxpayers, including the seniors, that a lot of them are never going to get a raise. So that's all I'm asking you to do. Make the right decisions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Anyone else wishing to address the board? Anyone else? All right, thank you. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes. Thank you. Oh, good heavens, I'm dropping the gavel before I said thank you for joining us. This meeting is now adjourned. Good heavens. Poor trigger discipline.